Shalom. We're going to be talking more about nouns. This time we're going to be talking about number. Nouns have, to review, nouns communicate both gender and number, and finally state. Gender is masculine or feminine, and the number is either singular or plural. And in some cases you can have a dual form. So there's three different numbers that a noun can communicate. Either singular, plural, or dual. Singular and plural are fairly straightforward. Singular is one, plural is more than one. And a dual form is a unique form in Hebrew that describes things that generally come in pairs. So for instance, many of the body parts that are paired use a dual form. So hands, you have two hands generally, and so therefore hands are a dual form. Two eyes, two ears, two legs or feet. All of those forms, all of those nouns are in a dual form. And the dual form is fairly easy to pick out in terms of the sound. It's ayim, ayim. So you can hear the plural in that, im, right? That's the masculine plural sound is im. But you add that extra syllable, ayim, and that makes it dual. So you have here, I don't remember if it's a patach or a kametz, but ayim, ayim. So for instance, yad, yadayim, ayin, einayim, ozen, oznaim, regel, reglaim. Right? You hear that ayim, ayim, ayim. That's your dual form. Interestingly enough, dual forms on the body are always feminine. Even though they sound more masculine with the im ending, all these hands, eyes, ears, legs, those are all feminine nouns. Okay, singular and plural. These are much more common in Hebrew than the dual forms are. Singular obviously describes something that is there's only one of. So if there's a single person, that might be ish if it's a man, or isha if it's a woman. Na'ar if it's a young man, na'ara if it's a young woman. Ben for son, bat for daughter, so on and so forth. But you can also have collective nouns in Hebrew, as you also can in English. So for instance, fish, I caught 10 fish. You don't say fishes, unless you're Gollum. Same with deer, or something like that. In Hebrew, you have the same thing. People, is a single noun. Tson is sheep, a flock of sheep. It's not tsonim or tsonot, it's just tson, whether it's a single sheep or a flock of sheep or 100 flocks of sheep. And so you'll want to be mindful of collective nouns as well. And they will take, if they're the subject of a verb, the verb will be singular. If they have an adjective along with them that matches in gender and number, it will be singular for collective nouns. Plural, again, is if there's two or more of anything, that will be a plural. And again, the plural forms, number is communicated through an ending in the same way that gender is. And so for singular, we're talking about nouns now. Singular nouns, you'll remember, don't have a specific ending. Masculine, it can be any letter of the alphabet that would end a masculine noun. Feminine nouns the same way. It could be just about any letter. However, the dominant, or at least the most common, ending for a feminine singular noun is comets he. Feminine singular. Now, for plural, you can have two different endings, pretty much, as we talked about in the last video. Hirik yod, mame, hopefully you can see that, is for masculine plural, and a holem vav with a tav is feminine plural. Now, if you have a large group of feminine objects or females, and that would then have a feminine plural ending. However, if one male enters that group of females, the whole group is identified with the masculine plural ending. Another sign of a patriarchal society, similar to Spanish. Spanish works the same way as Hebrew in that regard.